Am I supposed to be somewhere? Oh, wait. Hey, holy cow. Look at that. What's going on, everyone? Happy holidays. Can you believe it? It's 5 days till Christmas. I hope you're ready. I'm not. This show is here. We don't care about that. You deal with that. Anyways, once again, thanks everyone for tuning in to Get Off My Lawn. Again, we are the World Foam Alliance. If you haven't already, be sure to go to worldfoamalliance.org. Be sure to register. We want to be able to provide things to you and connect you with other people. But if we don't know who you are, we cannot connect you to anyone. Um, Also, we are fresh off the our first inaugural Foams Giving. Foams Giving was a charity stream we wanted to do. Um, we put it together literally in a month. And again, I just like to thank everyone that helped, everyone that participated, everyone that watched, everyone that did anything and everything for it. It was such a huge success because, quite honestly, we had no idea how well we do, if how many people would actually participate. At one point, Captain Xavier and I were resigned to the fact that maybe it's the two of us sleeping on a desk and drooling, and hopefully somebody's watching us and maybe send us a pity buck. But we had over 25 different people chime in. 24-hour stream, no problem. Everyone had fun. Everyone did amazing. And then you all as well. We set a target of 5,000, just hoping that maybe we'll come close to it. And we surpassed that with $7,165. All proceeds going to Toys for Tots. It was simply amazing. And again, we just like to thank everyone. So here's the good news. Because we've done it and we were able to put that together in a month, we're going to do it again. It's going to happen next year. And now we got a whole year to plan for that. What does that mean? Tune in next year. It is going to be bigger. It's going to be crazier, and it's even going to be more fun. On that same token, yes, if you've entered the raffle and you won and you got notification, everyone has been notified except maybe a couple of people, and that might be me because I'm slacking. But anyways, everyone that won something, we are sending it out. Just be patient. It is the Christmas season, and everyone's busy. And again, a lot of us, this isn't our full-time gig. This is our part-time gig. We all have full-time jobs, but we dedicate a lot of time to this. However, by January, I can assure you, you will be in contact, arrangements will be made, but most likely your product will be shipped out or has already arrived at you. So again, just a reminder that we know you will get it. Don't worry. And we are shipping it. We just ask for a little patience. It is the season. There's probably something I'm missing, but at this point, hey, Captain Xavier, what am I missing, brother? Anything I'm missing here?
I got nothing. It was fantastic. It was way more successful than we had ever hoped. It was really cool. Everyone we reached out to was willing to get involved. We had people all over the world. Truly did live up to the World Foam Alliance name that we have been claiming. Now we can say it's really true. It was a lot of fun. But yes, if you won stuff, do be patient. We are working through getting it all shipped to you. Whoever won the Strife that I built, kindly reply to the email so that I can ship it to you. Because you haven't yet, and I don't know who you are or where you live. I will give it a couple more weeks. I'll just toss the Strife in my yard, and you can come pick it up whenever you want. I'm sure it will survive. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. There's a train going by. Can you hear the train? Train?
Vaguely,
I
I
may
think
need to
so.
find a hat.
Maybe a hat day. On that token, we're glad everyone joined us. So we are kind of shutting down for the holidays. Not shutting down completely, but let's face it, it is the holiday season. Everyone's traveling and busy. So this will be the final episode for this calendar year from the World Foam Alliance YouTube channel. I'm not sure if Captain Xavier is doing the range or not tomorrow, but I know live shows, this is it. However, be sure we will be back up and running in January again with, obviously, Get Off My Lawn, us two mooks, and whatever it is we come up with, and the kind people that actually put up with us and come talk with us. Side note, that is today. Today is we're going to have James from Talonaxe Armory. He'll be joining us shortly. But then also another episode of Foam Zone with Andrew, a.k.a. Dart Sweep. And also, and we got a hat. You know what? If you like the hat, hit the like button. If you like the show, hit the like button. If you can hear me, you don't need a reason. Just hit the like button. Have I mentioned hit the like button? Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Oh, maybe I should do this. If you want your raffle prizes sent to you, I need to see that like button at 100. Otherwise, you know what? We're just going to throw it all in Captain Xavier's front lawn. You got to come get it yourself. Hit the like button, share, let the world know. I'm kidding. We're going to send it to you anyways. But hit the like button, hit the share button. That'd be really cool. But I wanted to say also, and also in January, if you don't know yet, we had our first episode in December, but the Lightning Hour as well with Sophie Lightning will be happening also, live show in January. And again, the Forge, I will come up with something, and in the new year we'll see it. And don't forget also, we have Anthony from Maritime Foam with Maritime Salvage as he goes and finds something and salvages it, and which is actually pretty cool. And he's a funny guy to watch. Dude, I guess this is officially the end of our first. I don't know if we're gonna call this season one. I'll call this season. Holy cow, we did something and it's working.
It hasn't fallen apart yet. Hooray! I do plan to do an episode of The Range. As soon as we're done here, I will film it. Y'all voted on, I believe it was Zombie Strike arrows and Mega.
Oh, wow.
So that should be fun. I'm gonna have to do some digging to find stuff that fires those arrows. I don't use them very often. I know I've got a bin of bows. Surely somewhere I've got the big pump action one, lever action looking thing. I've got some of the smaller ones. And somewhere I think I've still got the attachment that allows ire to fire those arrows, or rather anything with rail to fire those arrows. Hopefully it hasn't degraded with time. There's rubber involved, so it might have rotten or mildewed because I'm in the Pacific Northwest and rubber will mildew around here.
I mean, you must have a dreadbolt kicking around somewhere.
You would think. I know I've passed a couple in Goodwills recently because they're like, "Oh, the thing is huge," but I'm pretty sure I've got one out in the bunker. I don't think I have one in the shipping container. I'd have to check. We're gonna find out. I know I've got the little one somewhere. Pretty sure. Probably have some Rebel arrow launchers as well. I also just try throwing it. Could probably hit the target throwing an arrow from here.
I think so. You know what? Just try the hammer method. Between the fingers with a hammer.
Oh yeah, there we go. Probably work.
Oh, so if you got Mega, are you gonna do you have the what's that thing that Maritime Foam made? I know mine's is it the candelabra?
The what?
The orange string thing. Remember the 2-shot that he brought when we up and visited?
I thought I only had the elite one. Did he give me a Mega one?
The orange one. I thought it was a Mega. Was it a Mega? It was 2-shot, but I can't remember if it was Mega.
I don't know now. It's sitting in my living room. I will have to go check. I'm
go.
gonna have to come up with some Mega Blasters. I do have somewhere in a box. I'm not sure where the box ended up. The Dart Zone Jolt thing, the Solo, and I've got a Mega Barrel for it. So I will probably slap that together real quick. Tinker with that. It's the Xbox Games version. I got sent so much stuff all at once, and I'm trying to catch up on reviews. Zarko sent me one of everything he sells, which is amazing. So much good stuff. I still haven't gotten around to doing the Gauntlet, Maritime Phones Gauntlet. I've got stuff from Xbox. I've got piles up.
Well,
the last parts for my end of the year build arrived today, so I can hopefully get that done in time. The blaster's built. I haven't decided if I'm gonna paint it yet. I'm pretty sure I probably will paint it up in my colors. I kind of like it in its natural state. I haven't decided yet. But the accoutrement, the accessories for the loadout are getting painted, so I might paint it. We will see.
When do you think you're going to release that one? Do you have a
same time I always do? New Year's. It's always New Year's. New Year's Eve is when I release my end of the year build.
There you go.
So I've got 2 more weeks to finish the video. The blaster I built in 2 days. I was expecting it to take me weeks, and I'd be scrambling the day before release. And then I got it done in a day and a half. I'm like, well, now what do I do? So
you're just getting too good at it, man.
It really was just a lot of luck, because I really wasn't sure if the blaster I wanted to put into this shell was going to fit, and then it fit perfectly. And I happened to have all of the materials necessary. Like, it's like I've been, collecting stuff for years now, and I've got it in bins. Like, oh, I wonder if I have one of those. I do. Do I have any more of that material? I do. Hooray. So,
dude, that's awesome. You know what we should do? We should just quickly have a look at chat. Again, ladies and gentlemen, shortly we will have James from Talonaxe Armory joining us. But just so people don't feel ignored, let's quickly have a look to see what people are saying in chat.
Anybody saying stuff? I can't see the chat.
Oh,
probably could bring it up somewhere.
Then I shouldn't mention these ones where you're getting trashed. So, I mean, never mind.
People talking smack?
No, it's me. Never mind.
I'll bet they're talking smack.
I don't know. We got a lot of people in. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Try to post some questions. We'll try to pay attention and answer it. Feel free to jump up and wave. We are old dudes, so we forget stuff, but we will fix that.
All right, now I can see the chat.
There you go.
Printing parts for a Renfro? What is a Renfro?
Oh, wait, I've heard of that. Isn't that? Don't quote me on that one. I'll get it wrong.
Could you review the Unicorn Metal Kit and 2.0 Spring? Sure.
There it is. I'm on the verge of buying a 3D printer, but I can't think of anything else I would use it for besides blasters. What non-refloated things you can print? Dude, you can print everything and anything. Go to Thingiverse. I print spikes, skulls because of the shoulder pads I make. I print NFL logos. For my birthday, someone printed like an airplane. My buddy printed camels for his whatchamacallit, the nativity sets. Like, you can print anything. Anything. Get a 3D printer, print everything.
I've printed like dividers for organizers. I've printed brackets for shelves. I've printed mounting things for video game stuff. I've printed all kinds of stuff. It does not take much to get vaguely competent in Tinkercad and be able to design your own stuff. Let's see. Somebody asked about, who was it? No. Monarch asked if I could review the Unicorn Metal Kit. Which one? So I bought the, I think it was the Black Raisins one, and could never get it to work properly. Out of Darts gave me the one that's actually made by the company that makes the Unicorn, and it works fantastically. I also have the longer barrel now, I believe. I got the 3D printed front end. I don't know if I've actually gotten around to making this video yet. Like I said, too much stuff to review. But definitely, Metal Kit, much, much nicer. Especially since the one that I had the slotted plunger tube, which made it very unimpressive power-wise. What do we got going on? Sock drive? Is the sock drive still going on?
The sock drive is still going on. So again, for those that don't know, we are not the only charity game. In fact, this is our first year. However, there's been one going on for the past 3 years, and it is in memory of Corbett. I never met him, but he is a wonderful, wonderul dude, and everyone speaks very highly of him. But as a result, there is a drive. It goes to January 14th, and it is the if someone could pop the link down, and that'd be great. I think right now they are just short of their 3,000 goal, and I think after the 3,000 goal, they'll unlock even more raffle prizes. Like, if you check out their page in terms of what they got in terms of gifts, there are a lot of cool things they're giving away, man.
There's the link. Awesome. Monarch, yes, get the Out of Darts kit. It's fantastic. Print stuff for air stuff. Pegboard hooks. Yes, I have a set of 3D printed pegboard hooks that I recently acquired. And that's really nice because you can custom make whatever kind of hooks you need. If you need a doubled hook or a loop, or, how long you want it, how tall you want it. And if you print it at the right orientation, they can be very strong. I wouldn't like put hang a hammer from them, but you could definitely hang blasters from them.
Depending on the hammer. So let me just jump back to the joy of socks. So again, this is a memory of Thomas Corbett. He is also one of the founding members of co-founders of Containment Crew, and everything they raise goes to the joy of socks. They've been doing this for 3 years running right now, and again, they're now at 87% to their goal. It does run till January 14th, but just because they got a goal of 3,000, just like you guys crushed ours, I'd love to see it. And you know what the advantage of this one is? You and I can actually now buy tickets and actually win stuff in this one.
Oh, yeah. Because I need more stuff.
Yeah, you do. But like just a quick perusal at the prizes, I see seagulls, I see unicorns. I feel like this is like like a dream. And then I see pretty birds and Pegasus. No, and we got blue Nexuses. We have gift cards from Out of Darts, Silver Fox, Amazon. Dude, this place is awesome. And you know what? Here's the best part. There are other prizes in their unlocked tier. So that means when they hit 3,000, there are prizes that are going to be unlocked that you can win. But you got to hit that goal. So you know what's interesting enough? I have one of them right here. This is actually one of the unlocks. So once you hit 3,000, after that, this suddenly enters the prize pool as well. So again, this is a Rage Fire custom painted by me. It will be in the captain's colors, and not because I keep teasing him to make him buy it. That'd be mean. It's just orange is a cool color. But yeah, so make sure to go hit that drive. It's not just about us. It's not about the World Foam Alliance. It's about the whole hobby in general. It's about our community. We are a giving, loving, supporting group. It's not just sending us money, making sure we succeed. It's making sure all of us succeed, and this includes them. Never mind, it's a fantastic charity. They are doing wonderful things. They're doing great things, and they do it year in and year out. So yeah, if you get a chance, go over, make a donations, or tell someone else that does. Make it known. Make it to other people. You know what I mean? For those random people, I don't know what to get you. What do you want? I don't know what I want. Well, tell you what. How about you go buy me a couple of raffle prizes or raffle tickets for that drive? That you're killing two birds with one stone. You're donating and you still have a chance to win. So it just all depends, like many things in life. It's how you look at it.
So we've got a discussion going on in the chat about 3D printers. So far, everyone who has gotten a bamboo that I know of says that they're fantastic. Al the Geek here, Out of Darts has one. Walcom has one. Flux has one. I have one on my list of things to purchase when I recover my funds. They are, by all accounts, fantastic. They can print in multicolors, up to 4 colors, depending on what versions you get. That's something I really want to get. I do have printers that can print in multicolor. I've just never set it up. And with the bamboo, you plug it in, you poke the button, the stuff comes out. It sounds fabulous.
I guess this is a call-in show, so maybe we should take some phone calls. I feel like I feel like we have people waiting, and I think it's a scary number of how many people are waiting to call in. So tell you what, how about you want to take a caller?
16 colors, or did you say 16 colors? The man in our ear is saying stuff.
He did, and I'm half deaf now. Colors, 16 colors. That makes more sense. There's a phone number if you want to call up. But in the meantime, I think we've kept them. Oh, yeah, I have a bamboo. And to give you an idea, Maritime Foam, when he bought a bamboo, he was running like 2 or 3 Ender 5s. And he told me right off the bat, he says, no knock on Ender, but when I bought my bamboo, I never used my Enders again. And he sold them within a week. I thought, yeah, right, whatever. Bought my bamboo, and I haven't turned on my Enders since. Sorry, Ender.
Yeah. The only thing that Out of Darts was hesitant about was, will they still be here in a year? Will parts be available? Will maintenance be available? How solid is this? Because it's a brand new company. So, he's probably not going to replace his Prusa fleet anytime soon because Prusas are absolutely solid. That company's not going anywhere. It's well established. They have great customer service. They've got a good service track. What happens when a bamboo breaks? How easy are they to actually maintenance? Those kinds of questions are something that someone like Out of Darts, whose livelihood is on 3D printing, that's still to be seen. But I've yet to have anybody complain about them, but I also don't know anyone who's had one long enough for it to break. And maybe they just won't. Or maybe they'll all be broken in January. The warranty bombs will go off. But yeah, this is a call-in show, so if you want to call in, the number is around here somewhere, and you can call in and we'll yell at you. So let's take a caller.
Hey guys, how are you doing? This is Django Rumrunner or Foam Flinger now.
Hey brother, how are you, man?
Good. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well.
We're good, man. Almost ready for
All right,
Christmas,
yeah,
I
getting-
think, and I'm losing my mind. Ah.
Yeah, I think we all are. So well, first of all, great job on the foams giving. I only caught like the last 3 hours of it, but it was very entertaining. I'm still going back and rewatching the whole thing. I'm only on, I think I've caught up on about 12 hours of it, which is not bad given it's only been a week. Anyways, the point I wanted to bring up is I ended up winning both the Blue Nexus Pros in the raffle. So what I want to do is I want to get, and I like the idea of the MK4, so I want to bring it to Maryland Mayhem, get it signed by a bunch of you guys, and then donate it back for next year's Foams Giving.
Oh, that's very kind
Dude, that's
of you.
fantastic. That is, see, again, this is what's great about this community. That'd be awesome. Absolutely do that. And yeah, we're definitely going to do that. Why? Because we have a whole year. We will be getting ready for it. So that'd be amazing. Thank you.
And there will be a lot of us.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Yeah, and who knows how many new special edition blasters will come out by then, but, this is just something, paying it forward.
You know what? Good for you. And again, that's well, first of all, congratulations on winning both of them. Well done. But again, thank you for offering that up as opposed to like I just put it on eBay and made $500 on it.
Exactly.
But if that happens, we also won't judge you for it. But it's still amazing what you're doing. So yeah, we will definitely take that. That is fantastic. Thank you, and thank you.
Yeah, and Captain Xavier, I saw you painted up your seagull in orange colors. I also ended up winning the orange seagull, so I was going to trade it to you for an SPF or an SPF kit or something, but let me know if you're still open for that.
I have already pre-ordered an orange one from Out of Darts.
Okay.
So I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I need to figure out what I'm going to do with my green one now, because they gave me the green one to do a review on, and then I bought the orange one because I don't expect him to give me everything for free. He's got kids to feed. Yeah. Now, Maryland should be fun. I'm definitely that's one that's on my list. Maryland Mayhem next year, Mall Madness for sure next year, and then I don't know what other events I'm gonna go to next year. I have to decide, but Maryland is a staple at this point. Yeah,
I've had to budget my vacation and, of course, time with my family. So Maryland Mayhem is the only one for next year for now. Anyways, it was good talking to you guys. I'm getting off your lawn.
Thank you very much.
Your time is up. Get off my lawn.
That's awesome. Dude, how cool is that, man? All right, at this point, before we get sidetracked again, we do have a guest. He's more like our buddy. Now, instead of 2 old guys, you're going to have 3 old guys. I will warn you, he is dressed so much cooler than we are. Well, actually, compared to the 3 of us, I am lacking. Captain Xavier has a wicked hat, and our next guest is, I know, I should get a hat, is James of Talonaxe Armory.
Just switch hats every couple of minutes.
This time you don't have to do it for money. You do it because you want to. But we're going to have James from Talonaxe Armory. If you watched the live stream, you've seen James on with us for the live stream. And also he was on with Andrew, Dart Sweep, on the Foam Zone. So, again, round of applause, everyone there. If we're going to welcome James from Talonaxe Armory, please clap. I can't hear you, but I trust that you all are.
Yeah, I'm just.
What's up, James?
I'm just here working on my bingo card for the World Foam Alliance. Gotta get on all the shows.
I still haven't been on all the shows. What's up with that?
I'm wearing my blue tiger print jumpsuit here.
Nice.
You guys are responsible for this. You guys are.
Somebody mentioned it and we Googled it, and there's an orange one that's on my list of things to buy as well.
There's one that's blue and orange, and it like fades from one to the other. And I'd already own it, but the missus was like, no, absolutely
No,
not.
you only get.
I've got this one. I've got the like Tony Soprano velour one that's been in a couple of my videos. I love that one. The Tony Soprano velour one is so over the top because like it's fuzzy, right? It's so over the top every time. But yeah, no, happy to be here.
At some point, I don't know if it was. I think it was much earlier this year. I acquired my very first tracksuit, and when I first put it on, I became genuinely upset that no one had told me how comfortable tracksuits are. I felt like
great.
this had been kept from me on purpose, and I was genuinely personally offended.
It's like classying up sweatpants.
It's just like I could just wear this all day, but I'm not going to because then I feel like a Russian mobster, which is why I got the tracksuit.
I have videos, several of them, where I'm.
It will show up in a video next year when I start doing my loadout series. That is something I'm definitely starting next year, and that will be one of the loadouts will involve a tracksuit.
Just go full on squatting Gopnik with the entire video.
No, it's a video game character. Is
okay. Because it's like we're nothing below here, and then you can just do the Slav squat for the entire video.
You know what? If we're gonna do tracksuits, we're gonna do this again. But all three of us are gonna be in like a yellow velour. Sorry, not yellow. I'm gonna have some kind of yellow mix, orange and blue. We got to do a tracksuit episode.
One of us just puts on like the worst Guido accent we can make up. One of us puts on just the super like he's Russian gangster.
He's Russian, yeah.
And one of us can just
it's very comfortable.
One of us can just spend the entire video being like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm very comfortable.
Dude, my background's Slavic. I can do that all day.
Just keep rotating it through.
Just switch every 5 minutes without telling anybody.
Oh, that's awesome. So again, James, just in case no one knows who you are, tell us who you are. Tell us how to find you.
I'm James. I'm Talonaxe Armory on every social that counts and on YouTube. I do videos primarily with the strangest things I can find or the weird Chinese garbage that no one else should have to buy, which is why I have a literal bucket of blasters at the moment. And sure, it's got the new drill blaster and the new weird baseball bat thing, but it's also got
drills on my list.
A weird hammer shot knockoff.
Yeah.
A weird Sweet Revenge knockoff that has Ultraman on it.
It's weird.
The most attractive version of the Ultra 2 I've ever seen.
Yeah. I just got one of those myself. I want to put some power into it.
Here's the big winner.
Oh, nice.
It's a double action trigger.
Yep.
And it's got an adjuster knob to make it stiffer or weaker.
Yeah, that was in fact cool. A Dart Zone or Dart Tag blaster, the Snapfire 8.
Did it have? I don't remember it having the adjuster knob.
It had the adjuster and it had double action, but it broke way too easily. The internals were not robust enough.
So literal bucket of things I'm supposed to be reviewing that I just haven't got to. Holidays, getting ready to move, etc.
Random question. You sent me the files for the shells, right?
That was us. Yeah.
Okay. Because I am building. I have acquired the tack gear necessary to build an entire loadout around 40mm shells, so I'm gonna need to print a bunch.
Yeah. So when we found the first one of those launchers, I had bought it, reviewed it, was like, hey, this isn't bad. And threw it at like my partner in crime, like my cohort, one of my best friends in the world, Alan. And Alan took it home, decided he really, really liked it, put a piece of K-17 in it, and started printing shells to fire anything he could think of. Somewhere on the cutting room floor, there's a shell that fires Vortex.
Nice.
Yeah, just because, like, can we make it do it? Let's see. And then we have figured out there's like 8 or 12 different shells for that platform that all will take the same rounds.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
I recently acquired the one that's the M203 looking one, the underbarrel. That one, yeah.
Yeah.
I plan to turn it into a master key because
there's the side load one that works like the Russian grenade launchers. That's my favorite. Like that's the one that's on the wall back there hiding.
I've got the 6-round revolver one coming from Bui Blasters.
Me too.
For Bu Blasters.
It got posted in one of the Discords, and everybody was like, "I'm not paying that. That's too much. I'm not doing that right now." And I'm like, "I already ordered it."
Yeah.
I've got send me the link to that. I got to find out about that.
there's a shoulder fired one, and I bought the shoulder fired one to review. Discovered it took a different spring than everything else we'd done, so I had to find an upgrade spring that fit that. And then I owned it until Mall Mutation Madness, when I brought it for the Survival Fest mod team because they wanted it for a potential BFG for next year. And I was like, yeah, you guys can absolutely have it. It's just going to collect dust in the corner of my room otherwise.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think
Survival Fest plug.
There were two that they had. I think they had the shoulder-fired one, and they had the 6-round revolver. Yeah. There were 2 other blasters that I put on the list of, hey, here's the next 4 I'd like to review, pick 2. And they picked 2, and one of them was the revolver, and I think the other one was the Blaze S200.
Oh, God. I want both of those just to see how they work.
Yeah, me too. That's why I put them on the list.
Yeah,
I already have
you better
the Blaze
than me.
200, but, I like having 2 of everything.
Yeah, people like you better than me, so you get all these
I had to pay for the first one, so I want the second
at least there's that.
Because I'm a
But yeah,
Alan's giving you guff in the comments.
He does that. It's his favorite
Alan's
thing.
just talking smack.
Yeah.
It's just talking smack.
Yeah. We joke all the time that because he runs the Etsy store and I run the YouTube, and we joke all the time that's because he doesn't like to be on camera.
Gotcha.
He should be. Do you know why? Here's a side note. This weekend, I ended up in a children's Christmas pageant just because a bunch of kids had COVID, so I filled in. What do I care? I'm a large child anyways. And so part of the description was we had to say our name and then
one of the donkeys.
No, I had to get to be myself, but I could have easily been that ass for sure. However, what we had to do was say our name and then tell us what the meaning of our name was. It just went with this whole theme. So I had to Google it, and sure enough, if your name is Alan, and you can all Google it and check, Alan also means handsome. So Alan, you can be on YouTube, dude, just like me, because we're handsome. And then somehow for the weekend, I got Handsome Al as a nickname. And so, yeah, it's great for the ego. I'll stop now before it gets too overblown. But yeah, there we go. Although now I feel like Handsome Rob from the Italian Job, but he was much prettier than I was. So how's that for a tangent? There you go. Alan, you can be in this film. Don't let James just be on the YouTube.
What's actually fun about Alan, when we travel, because we're coming out of Louisiana, they'll be like, oh, the Cajuns. I'm like, I am still not at all Cajun. I am still from the Northeast. I happen to live here. And they're like, the Cajuns. And meanwhile, Alan is actually Cajun. Like the cooking, the traditions, the whole 9 yards, right? So when we went to Survival Fest, second Survival Fest plug, you guys should be proud of me. When we went to Survival Fest, he promised to make them gumbo, right? So
I heard about that.
Yeah, that Friday night he made gumbo for all the mods and the Detroit guys and stuff. And they liked it so much that one of the mods, Brain, left with a cup of gumbo in like a red Solo cup and drank it on his way back to their Airbnb. Right? And like they're all leaving and they've had their gumbo, and I look at Alan and I go, Alan, that was okay. Like it was gumbo. He's like, yeah, but they don't know nothing.
They don't. I did finally find my Louisiana Blaster League patch, and it's on the collection.
That's great. Noah will be delighted at that news. The rest of us are just like, I'm sure he has it, bro. It's probably on the side.
It's somewhere. Got to be around here somewhere. But Dr. Pugh did in fact deliver it.
Yeah, that was fun when he showed up out of nowhere. Like that was hilarious.
Yeah, when he told us about it, he's like, I showed up and everyone knew who I was, and I was very weirded out. Like, oh yeah.
Your name gets dropped like one video a month. What do you expect?
Yeah,
we remember things.
That's what we're talking about. Dr. Pew, and he shows up in some of my videos and a lot of my range stuff. And so, yeah. So that was his moment of celebrity. It's like, it was fun, wasn't it? He's like, yeah. It's like, does it get old? It really doesn't. No.
No, the first time you get noticed is really cool, unless it's while you're sitting in a puddle on a Starbucks floor, and that's awkward. But
yeah.
Hey, you're the Starbucks guy. Yeah.
Well, I used to repair smart safes and stuff, and I was sitting on the floor repairing a smart safe, and there's a guy standing right here working at the Starbucks, and I'm literally sitting in a puddle, and he looks down at me and goes, have I seen you on YouTube? And I go, maybe. And he goes, you review Nerf guns and stuff. And I go, yeah. And he goes, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I watch your stuff. I'm like, that's great, man. It's really cool. Because I'm literally like cold and wet in a puddle, and you want to talk about my channel. Well, and we did, and then I gave him some stickers and stuff, but, you know.
You should have told him, shut up and buy me a coffee, then I'll keep talking to you.
Well, actually, that was the nice thing about the job, was literally anywhere you went and fixed their stuff, they gave you free things because you just improved their day. So I've actually gotten a lot of free Starbucks and stuff in my time.
Dude, by the way, the praline and is it chestnut? Praline and chestnut latte is now my favorite thing, and I'm not a Starbucks guy, but I just ended up in there, and now I'm buying like one every other day, and I think I got addiction problems, so I just got to avoid it.
You need to remind us when we're coming up next year for Survival Fest. Community Coffee, which is the local coffee brand, makes a coffee that is a pecan praline coffee, and you can get it in K-cups, you can get it, beans, you can get it ground, and it is life-changing. It is candy. It's so good.
I will make a mental note of that.
Doesn't drink coffee. I cannot relate to this conversation. I'll just wander off.
I drink so much coffee. There's a coffee maker right there. I have one in the office.
Well, yeah, because you gotta go anywhere. All right.
Well, at this moment, work from home, so
there it is. Hold on. So then, again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Again, this is Get Off My Lawn on the World Foam Alliance YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Did I mention hit the like button? Hit the like button. Hit the like button. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. The more subscribers we have, the more we can do. The more we can do, the more cooler shows, content, and things we can do. Share it. Subscribe to it. Tell other people to subscribe to it. Sneak into your friends' YouTube channels and subscribe to us. Tell your parents to subscribe to us. Add it to your Christmas list. Whatever it is, man, just make it happen. And then I mentioned hit the like button. That'd be great if you hit the like button. I feel like I'm on a trend here. Also, go to worldfoamalliance.org. Don't forget to register to the site. The website we will be launching in January. We do not have a set date yet, but we will be launching at some point in January. And again, we need you to register, not so we can take your money, not so we can spam you. The whole point of this thing is that we're trying to connect everybody, create groups and communities. To do that, we got to know who you are. We got to know where you are. Otherwise, we're just going to guess that, you know what, there's probably 15 people that live around James, so let's go out there and do something. No, let us know where you are. Let us know, and that way we can connect you, and then we can actually make good on what we're promising you. We want to do this. We're going to do this, but we need to know where you are.
Let me know. I'm moving to Tennessee. I can't find an active club in Tennessee. Let's get this together. Get out there, register. We can be the success story. All of us together.
Yeah. There's numerous clubs that have been created just because somebody started something and helped people get connected. The whole goal of this is to do it on a global scale and eventually to host big events, tournaments with prizes and big HVZs and all of that. But we got to get big enough. We got to get well known enough to be able to start pulling that kind of stuff off. So yeah, we harp on it. You're like, subscribe, tell your friends, register on the website. There is a reason. It is a goal. There are plans in place. And I'm looking forward to how it works. What do we got going on in the comments?
I do have to make one comment, because you asked what's a Renfro. It's not a what's a Renfro. It's a who's a Renfro. Renfro yes. is Brad Fowler, who made the bolt pistol that's behind you. And in in Brad's continuing craziness that is producing things, Monday we did Secret Santa with the Detroit guys, which is their yearly like Nerf Secret Santa thing with friends. And Brad got Alan. And Brad built Alan the Auto 9 from RoboCop. And it is the size of his arm. It's huge. It's so good. It's so good. I'm sure Alan will post glamour pics to the World Foam Alliance server for us. Because now I've called him out and he'll feel awkward.
Yeah. I want to see that. That thing is awesome.
It's so impressive. And like people are like, oh, are there going to be files for it? And Brad's like, no. I designed this to be printed once. You have no idea how much of a nightmare this was.
I want to get to the point where I can just idly design something like that. Right now, my CAD skills are infantile at best.
Like, so that's one of my biggest things in this hobby is I did CAD 20 years ago and cannot remember anything my high school AutoCAD teacher taught me, right? Great guy, love him to death, can't remember anything. So these guys are just like, oh, yeah, I designed a blaster this weekend. I'm like, you designed a blaster? I didn't find time to clean the office. You know? And these guys then get like down on themselves. And it's like, what are you doing? Come on. So that's kind of what we all do here, though, right? We're all kind of the guy who walks into a room and like, that's awesome. Come with me.
That's exactly it. Absolutely.
I've built all kinds of stuff, but I have yet to get into designing much in the way. I've gotten to the point where I can build like easily design internal kits or internal parts, and I've gotten very good at it. If somebody gives me a file, I can edit it to be what I need, change this, move this, but I don't have the skills to add like beveling and chamfers and greebles and stuff.
Yeah, and that's my thing, right? I haven't even got to that point. I should probably start working on that so like I can put my logo on stuff. But I've got a million other things to do. And these guys who are in our hobby and are just like casually producing things that are breathtaking. Did you guys see Alex from Detroit Dartworks where he built the Fallout laser pistol thing that's a Flycore? And that got modeled because he was doing version 2 and someone idly said, hey, it would be neat if it had a ray gun front end. And then over the course of like the rest of the day, he slammed that thing together and it just appeared. And then it lit up every Discord, every group on my Facebook, the subreddit, like it was everywhere. It was nuts. And people are like, I don't even know where to find it.
Like, look, it's the Ray thing. And you're like, not only are the folks from whatever that were from Fallout, but Spaceman Spiff and Earthworm Jim also appreciate this.
Exactly. It's so good. And it just came out of nowhere, right? It was just like left field while he was working on just designing version 2. It's like, and now it has a Nuka-Cola skin. What?
Why? Because I could.
Or you know what? Segue this thing, right? How did Red Cowl figure out how to model these goofy panels so you could just print ones? This is a demented shape. You know, he's got cylinders that are assemblable. You can make the entire thing look completely different. And these guys just like, I've
got the Xbox kit, same thing, yeah. So the World Foam Alliance asked a really good question in the comments. What would be the ultimate prize that they could give away for whatever? And one of the suggestions was a trip to the Makerspace, a trip here to my compound to get to do what Al the Geek and Maritime Foam did, come play with all the toys and Nerf with all the Nerfers.
So good.
And that's definitely something we could put together.
That's bucket list for me, that's for sure. But as a collector of things, my answer to that remains Blue Nexus Pro.
Yeah.
I tell you, when we came out, and I'll be going out again at some point next year as I figure out where I'm going. Yeah, I'm heading out there again as long as you'll have us. And it was so much fun. And we did way too many things. I think next time we'll see if we can actually plan time to make stuff. Last time we played with stuff, I think we need like half a day to play with stuff, and then we can actually get to work and make something too. But no promises.
Yeah, we ended up having both my private war that I host as well as Borst on the same weekend. So both Saturday and Sunday were taken up by that. If we limit it to just the private war, then we'd have a Sunday to do stuff. We could also, extend it to, have you show up Thursday and do stuff on Friday. There'll definitely be there'll be more visits. The makerspace is finally coming together now that the plague has abated. I've started doing the upgrades that I started back in 2020. Getting the lighting redone, getting more power outlets put in, stuff like that.
It is. So from the outside perspective, and people watch your videos on it, it is a great space, man. Dude, I love what you did with it. Just because it feels professionally. It's not just like a card table with a wonky chair and an old hammer and like it is like, isn't this your stuff? Like, is this like production? Are we mass producing things? It is so well organized. But the best part is too, because the way you are in the makerspace, up on the walls, he has his collection of classic blasters. Past that, in the back, you can see where he is now. You can see the wall there. If you sit in that makerspace and you're not inspired, you're either blind or dumb. Because, like, come on, man, just breathe it in, and you will not have enough time because it is inspiring. And it's all the tools and toys that you need are right there.
Am I about to lose? Am I not charging? Why am I not charging? Charge, you wretched phone. I'm at 5%. I'm about to lose power.
On this point, then, let's while he figures out his power. Did I mention hit the like button? Hit the like button. Share, and like and share. The more you like, the more that's how you actually power his phone, by liking the button. You see, if you don't like the button,
there we go.
Then it won't power his phone.
All right.
Also, don't forget, if you want to call in and talk to us, ask us a question.
I guarantee I won't just randomly drop off the call.
It's cool. Me and Al will just vamp for time if that happens.
I'm at 2%, man. I don't know that I'm going to make it. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're still here.
Worst case scenario. Or no. Yes, I can switch to the house. The upload should be done by now. Did somebody say we had a caller? If we don't have a caller, somebody should call in. We've got a phone number.
Someone should call in. But maybe
we'll make fun of
what we can do. Maybe we'll call Maritime Foam, and he can come in with your T-shirt and fill in for you while you get power back.
I've called out like multiple people in this channel. One of them should call in just to like rebut points I've made.
What's the number?
I should just start claiming things at random and see what happens.
There you go. Let's see who can call you on.
I got one. Clemson is a terrible university.
Them's fighting. Run now.
And we now have 27 callers, and
we just lost Xavier.
Oh, there we go. I think you know what it is. He probably took offense to your claim there, and that's why he's
oh yeah, certainly. Everyone knows he's a big Clemson Tigers guy. Dabo Sweeney, his #1 college football coach of all time.
Well, that would explain his obsession with orange.
It would finally drive that home, wouldn't it?
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, this is funny. So let's look at the chat. Does anyone have any questions or comments? What's everyone going on over there?
We got
Maritime Phone in
Maritime. Yeah, he showed up, so they're all ignoring us and talking to Maritime.
Well, in his defense, we're talking amongst ourselves, so they're like, someone's got to pay attention to me. So obviously, Maritime's paying attention to him, so they'll talk to him. All right, we got two. Let's take a caller. Who do we got?
Hello?
Hi, who's this?
General Strife.
What's going on, buddy? How are you? I hear that somehow some kind of
Great.
magical package dropped off at your doorstep. You must have gone and stolen that Dart Zone product. Come on, confess, don't lie.
Okay, I snuck into their warehouse and stole one. I confess.
So let's stop the joke. How's it feel?
It feels amazing to be noticed by a big company like that. It feels just fantastic.
I acknowledge
So let
that, but
people
how's
know.
the product? Like,
Yeah, there you go.
it's your first
The
Happy
product
Things,
is
right?
amazing. Yeah, it literally like shook my whole world practically. Like just the power that I felt. Just oh my god, it has to like probably top the Strife for me at this point. Like it just felt amazing.
I mean, it's a whole other animal to a Strife, right? You've got a platform that's
Yeah,
got Fire Select. It's pre-wired to go to LiPo if you want, right? Because you can pull that battery tray, and it's got a connector in there for
Yeah.
XT60 built in. It's a beautiful product. It works very well, and you can get great deals on them today. I think I actually have. Well, I have no idea how many I have. They're all packed because I'm moving, but 2 or 3 of them.
Well, hold on. First off, General Strife, for those that don't know, please tell them what we are talking about and how you got one.
I was in the World Foam Alliance's Foams Giving, and because you donated $5,000 to Toys for Tots, I got a Mark III from Dart Zone themselves.
That is correct. Once we hit the goal, what it was kind of at the point, anytime you're doing a charity, you're trying to give people incentive why to give for the many benefits. And at that point, General Strife, who had not had a half dart blaster at that point, Dart Zone suddenly ponied up and said, "You all hit 5,000, and we will send him one." And sure enough, he did. And again, General Strife, how old are you, buddy?
16.
So Toys for Tots is for kids at 16, dude. Not to diminish you, were a kid, so it kind of fit, man. Toys for Tots, Toys for Kids. It made sense. So yeah, he got one.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the
How cool
stream.
was
It was
that?
really fun.
What was your favorite
Yeah.
part about the stream?
Amazing. Basically, just seeing the whole community just connect and talk about what the hobby and everything. It was just amazing.
Yeah, it was a pretty singular time. I'm really glad we got to do it. But get off our lawn. Yeah, got to say it.
Okay, you said the thing.
All right, we have another. I think we have another caller. Let's do another caller.
I never get used to that 15-second delay y'all have on this thing.
You know, most conversations begin with "Hi, how are you? Who is this?"
No,
Yeah, identify yourself.
I don't have to. You know who this is.
It's Al.
Is that also a handsome Al? Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
it's another handsome Al. What's up, buddy?
It's an Al, but it ain't no handsome one. I guarantee that. Hey,
Your
Al.
wife
Hey,
would
James.
disagree.
What's going on, brother? How are you?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I figured since James calling people out, I might as well call in on him.
There we go.
Do it. The floor is yours. Go ahead, man. Give it to him.
Oh, I already given it up to him. I'll be seeing him on Saturday when we're working on a little project, so I'll give it to him then, too.
Do you want to tell them what you're working on?
You know I don't advertise myself very well. Why don't you talk about it? It's your build.
No, I mean we're working
Wait.
on
But you
that,
called in. Come on. Hold on. He called
Yeah.
in. Don't chicken out. Come on, brother. What do you got?
I don't do the online very well. Actually working on a brushless blaster
Oh.
for Jones over here.
Yeah,
Based off the fly core system.
yeah, he's trying to make brushless a little more accessible for people. So it's not just this massive monster where you got to buy big fancy kits and put together these monstrosities, or hope that an FDL comes up on the open market or something like that. So doing the good work for the world over here.
Dude, that's awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun. And never mind, that's great.
It's piggybacking off a lot of other people's work. I ain't gonna lie. Team Crap, the guy who came up with the Mjolnir, using their PCB that they designed for it. So, and one of the guys, the Open Sky software, I think it's called. One of the guys out of Australia designed that. Modding a lot of it to go into that too. So yeah, it's been a fun little project.
Are you finding it? Are you having a lot of challenges, or is it kind of going pretty good, or is it one of those where you wanted to throw it through a wall?
Yes. All of the above. All of the above.
That's when you know it's going to be a good one, where you could have put it through a wall a couple of times and still haven't.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out on Saturday if James likes it, but I think he will. But yeah, it runs off with a neutron solenoid from out of darts. Uses a small 1404 motors and a 32-bit electronic speed controller. So yeah, it'll be nice.
But Saturday, I'm dropping off some 2207 motors, so you can look into making a couple versions of this thing. Right, Alan?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to try to make them for larger motors. Since you're going to be a pain.
Well, that's great, but get off our lawn!
No!
I get why you guys do that. That's fun.
I'm glad you said it. Now you got to answer to him on Saturday when you see him.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna work on the Mule Core, which is the current joke name, and then we have plans. Us and both our wives are going to go to dinner and a movie for the holiday.
See, that's awesome, man. I love that. That is great. Awesome. So I guess we should also let people know. So we do have the phone number, but at the same time, also, if you don't have a phone or you are overseas or somewhere else, or because of your phone plan, you can actually call in over the web. I do believe we have the link in the description, but you can actually also now call in via the web if you don't want to use your phone, or if, like Captain Xavier, suddenly it's 2% gone. So we are giving you options in terms of how you want to call in and talk to us. And we do have a caller. So you know what? Let's see who we got.
Hey, what's up? It's Monarch.
Hey, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Pretty good. I mean, I'm feeling the holiday spirit. I got my peppermint mocha and got my tree set up in my room. I'm feeling great.
You're not sitting in a puddle on the floor at Starbucks, right?
No, definitely not. Oh, man, I heard that. I was crying.
It's an experience. You got to try it sometime.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't really have like a blaster or anything to talk about, but I do want to kind of talk about like, how do you guys build up a YouTube channel and stuff? And how do you like how do you start a YouTube channel in the Nerf community and like build up that following? Sorry. Oh. Like, what drives you to, or what drove you to start the YouTube channel?
What drove me to start it? Mainly the fact that I just keep buying things, right? and the goal was to put the knowledge I have acquired from just buying things and having been in the community. So I've been doing this since 2005. Right? Like,
oh wow.
I've been at this for longer than several people in this live stream have probably been alive. And
I was crawling around on the floor of my grandma's with my first Maverick at that age.
There you go. and so wanting to impart that knowledge and move things forward and realizing how many things I owned that are no longer available or were never really available. So like you can't see it right now, but up there on the top of my wall is one of Germ 781's integrations. He's not even in the hobby anymore. Yep. Right? But it lives there and it has a story and it's elaborate and I love it. And I should really do a video about it. But you know what? I always come up with something else to do. So I haven't. But that's how it started.
Honestly, you know what? I don't have much time left, but I'm going to just say this. I'm determined.
Tell you
to
what, we're
become
gonna give you
a
another
Nerf
3 minutes.
YouTuber.
Hold on, stop for a second. Man behind the curtain.
Another 3 minutes?
Give him some time till I kick him off. Go ahead. What do you got, Monarch?
Right. I want to become a YouTuber. It's my New Year's resolution. By the end of 2024, I'm gonna have at least 100 subs on my channel. I'm really trying to get this kicked off. I go to DMV in Maryland with my man Andrew. Dart sweep. So, yeah.
Well, if that's the goal, to create a channel, the biggest advice I can give you is don't do it because you want to make money doing it. Do it because you want.
Definitely not.
Well, but do what you want to do.
Yep.
Don't set out to do like, I'm going to review every new blaster that comes out, because you're going to, okay, it shoots 70 feet per second. It's a pump action Springer. It's boring. It shoots 70 feet per second. It's a Nerf flywheeler. They all sound the same. They all fire the same. They all feel the same. You're not going to have any fun.
Yep.
Just do what's fun,
man.
whatever that means. If that means all you want to do is make gameplay footage, make gameplay footage.
If all you want to do is get on and talk to people like Captain Xavier and I do that. But at this point, so ladies and gentlemen, we have a wandering Captain Xavier has made it back in. Clearly, someone's hit the like button enough to get him power again. So Captain Xavier's back. Hit the like button. Cap, you probably heard his question. What is your take and input on Monarch's question?
No, I didn't hear a question. What was the question?
Oh man.
Go ahead, repeat it, Monarch.
I'm not offended. Wait, which one?
He basically wants to know, because he wants to start a YouTube channel, and he wants to know what's your advice or what inspired you, or just in general, if you're going to do a YouTube channel, what do you tell people?
I watched Xavier's Lego videos back in the day, so I know a lot of his videos and stuff, and like I'm really inspired, you know.
To be entirely honest, I originally got in to get free stuff. And then I very, very quickly strayed from that goal into making educational videos. So the Monday Mod tips and the K26 videos. And I discovered that that's what I really liked doing and enjoyed doing it. That is what very much disingratiated me to Hasbro. And it's why they only, they have never sent me stuff, and they've blacklisted me from stuff, though they did eventually send me stuff. Like I said, like they keep saying, that's what I wanted to see. That's what I didn't see enough of. There weren't good guides on how to build stuff, on simple explanations of current versus voltage, how switches work, how circuits work, how to solder. There's lots of videos on how to solder, but there were lots of other stuff that are specific to our hobby that there wasn't really good, simple explanations to. How do I repair a screw post? How do I remove a stripped screw? Those kinds of videos, and I really enjoyed doing those. And the K26 videos were just fun because I had bins of Goodwill blasters that were good, that I could dig through. And eventually I got to the point where people did start sending me stuff.
I hate to cut off one of my idols in Nerf, but I have overstayed my welcome, so I think it's
right. Get out of here.
Might be time.
Take yourself off the lawn. Kick yourself.
Fine, get off our lawn.
But
get off the lawn.
We talked about it in the 24-hour live stream, and obviously me and Cap have both said it here. Do what you like. Don't set out to make money or to chase the algorithm. You'll drive yourself mad.
It is. And for me, I never got into YouTube. For me, it was kind of now, but I just wanted to make cool big stuff, and then I had way too many things, so I started an Etsy store. So then realized to be able to make more and sell more, I should let people know that I have stuff to sell. So that's why I posted pictures. But then it became more than that. It's always fun when you get messages from people saying, "Hey man, I love this. I love what you did here. It inspired me to do this. Because of this, it inspired me to do that." So it's almost like, for me, it's become more of an ecosystem. You put into the system and you get it back, and it's kind of like everyone feeds off of one another. If people buy stuff in the meantime, great, but it's no longer my driving factor. It's just be yourself, man. Do what you want to do, make what you want to make, do what you want to do. And I think especially now, it's like YouTube, how many years ago was different, where it's like maybe it's like I'll be the first one to review it, but there's so much of so many things. And I think it has come down to the more popular ones, or the ones that really are rewarding, are the ones where people are very genuine, where it is you doing what you're doing as opposed to network TV, because then you might as well just get into network TV or go hit some reality show or something.
A lot of the stuff, I was going to be doing this in my workshop anyway. I might as well turn on the camera and explain it. Like, okay, I'm going to be modding this blaster. I might as well make a video about modding this blaster. Someone out there will find it interesting and useful. Same with the Goodwill videos. I'm going to be going to Goodwill and looking for blasters anyway. Might as well film it. And those turned out to be some of the most popular. Still weird. Apparently, we've got another caller. Let's get another person out here. What's that? What do you picked up a thing? Why did you pick the thing?
I really should have made a video assembling the Meowser.
Yes, you should have. Who are you? What do you want?
This is Wizard Builds. I've got a modding question.
A modding question? Ooh, let's hear it.
So about I think a year and a half ago, I did my first major mod, and it was a Raven with a Magnus Master Key. And I'm going through and overhauling some stuff and making it nicer and rewiring and all that. And I cut the grip off the Magnus, and I've got gaps there. And I'm wondering, how would you fill those if you don't know how to 3D model?
Well, you could use something like wood and carve it and shape it. You could there's various ways you could fabricate something using sheet metal, really thin sheet metal. You can cut, you can also just fill it with like epoxy, or what's the other one people use a lot to really fill in large gaps? Is it Bondo?
Bondo, expanding foam, Sculpey clay.
That's the one, Sculpey clay.
I use modeling foam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the old days, when the world rotated the other way, we used Plasticard. You'd buy Plasticard and you'd cut sheets of Plasticard to fill gaps.
You can also use like Tupperware material, sheet plastic.
PVC trim boards from Home Depot and stuff like that. That's what I use for everything. So a lot of my stuff, it's all, well, here we go, construction. It's 1x, and I get 2x4s, 2x3, 1x4, 1x3, 1x6. Shave it, cut it, because I got a lot of saws and construction background, and that's what I use. So you're kind of creating full panels to go over top of it.
So we have a truly ancient integration here, and as you can see, there is Plasticard that has been cut to match the lines of the blaster. And this is the way everything was done before 3D printing became the craze it is today. And the guys who could do that well back in the day made a name for themselves by how clean their integrations were.
Yeah, and see, I came to Nerf from medieval recreation, so my go-to material is metal. Just because it'll last. It's not going to break. I don't like glue. I like screws and bolts, and I would rather screw and bolt from metal into metal rather than trying to screw or bolt into plastic, because it's weak and it will fail at the worst possible time. Oh, that's a pretty one. What do you got going on there?
So this is a good example. The way I combine everything, that's PVC board. And again, I had to, just because you got the angle here to be able to combine it, you keep this at the same level. But at the same time,
parallel,
I'm in construction. I got a lot of power tools, man. Table saw, miter saw. But same thing. I glue and screw everything. So again, I've had this one sitting here in the shop for about 6 months, and this one for even longer. And let's face it, this is not going to be a performance thing anyways. And I thought, this looks cool. So I combined them. I just got to finish painting them. And this, I'm sure, will go to a happy cosplayer at my next convention. But it's like, yeah, why not? So you have options, which is the good thing. It's like, I can't 3D. This comes back to everything else. I have no CAD experience, and my designing skills on the computer are 0 to none. And again, it's just the older you get, it's just less time to learn something. Never mind, you don't learn it as fast. But things I do here, I can do. So it's there are many options. There are many options, and don't be afraid to come up with a new one that we haven't thought of. Whatever covers it up.
And whichever method you use is probably going to result in a completely different look. And you're going to need to experiment to decide what look you like. I like the look of metal. I like the feel of metal. Other people, they want it to look like it was always supposed to be that way. And so they're going to try to disguise it. They're going to use, they're going to sand it to within an inch of its life. They're going to make sure all the lines are clean. If you've ever seen any of Mr. Nathan's work, I mean, I have seen the inside of his integrations where I know where the lines are and I still couldn't find them. That's how clean that man's integrations are. Like, I know which two blasters are here and I still don't know where the line is. It's nuts. But I've also seen ones where, they just put a big old metal shroud over the top of it and you could tell exactly what was going on, but it gave it a completely different look. I mean, you can achieve the look that they do for like zombie strike blasters where it looks like it's cobbled together from junk by actually cobbling it together out of junk.
It is. And I think, for like a good example, when I created this whole barrel assembly to stick this thing onto it, it was figuring out how to make this all strong. So I had this piece screwed into here, and there's not much to glue and screw to, but somehow I managed to glue and screw this together. But I still had too much flop over here. And it was kind of like, how do I get that supported? And what made the most sense was this simple bracket. And because it is all post-apocalyptic anyways, do not mistake this for decorative. Yeah, this is actually absolutely necessary.
A structural piece of metal. Yeah.
It really is. That holds it all together, but it works. And I was just smart enough to put it on an angle so it looks cool. It's like, oh, you did arrows? Yeah. That's what I did. Yeah.
You'd be amazed what you can find just wandering through the aisles in a hardware store. And sometimes the part you need is in a department you never would have considered. Like, I'm looking for this weird certain bracket, and I was looking in all of the fasteners sections. I was looking in this section. I was looking in that section. Turns out it was in plumbing because it's used for holding PEX pipe to walls or whatever.
Plumbing, you say? Huh. So this 1.5 inch PVC, 3/4 inch PVC. This is the half-inch aluminum rods that you get in the electrical section that come in 4-foot sections to run wire and conduit. So it's a metal conduit.
It's conduit, yeah.
Plumbing fixture, 1.25 PVC. I finally stopped doing these because this really was barrel drag because it was.
I was going to say, is it even possible to get a dart through that barrel?
Actually, yeah. It just kind of flopped out, but it made it through.
I'd say for a flywheeler it might be a problem. For a Springer, it might actually, yeah.
Still a little, just a hair too tight. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So then this version, the barrel still ends right here, but then over top of it, again, 1.5 inch PVC. This is 1 inch drain tube from the assembly on like a sink, the extender tube that comes down that goes into the trap. Yeah. Then 3/4 inch PVC, and then I have the 3/4 inch coupling, which then I add electrical tape to give it just enough girth to slide the 1.25 inch over top of. But again, because I kept the 3/4 inch, it may ricochet a little bit, but comes out of it a lot faster because it's only here that it's traveling the barrel and the rest is kind of decorative. So now, thanks to Foamdemic, Foamdemic actually created for me an attachment here because before I'd have to Dremel the inside of this to get over top of this, where now it's 2 pieces. You clamp together 2 screws and my PVC thing fits right on top of it, which makes my life easier. Mm-hmm. But again, I didn't design it.
Yeah, I've got all of the best 3D printed stuff that I have was designed by someone else. Probably the most useful one that I have is the hose coupling I have for my proton pack system. That thing was designed by someone who he did CAD for a living. That's what he went to college for. So he worked that out in an afternoon, and then took it back and added knurling, which lines up when the 2 pieces lock together so that you can't even tell where the seam is because it's 3D printed. So the seam for the 2 halves just looks like another layer line. You're like, how?
Yeah, that coupling is pretty snazzy.
Yeah. I tried creating my own and I was able to cobble something together from files that I found on Thingiverse where it was some kind of a coupler for something and I was able to make it vaguely work, but it wasn't quite what I needed. And then this guy was able to, I think his name was Justin Sprecher. So his last name's the same as my favorite brand of root beer.
The root beer. Gotta be good.
He put that together for me, and it's still working. I mean, it's going to be integrated into my end of the year blaster. Has that coupler connected to it. So
You all just learned something about the end of the year blaster. Start taking notes.
When was it? Was anyone surprised that it's a proton pack blaster? That's been a given.
No.
Who
for
said that? What was that released? Was
What?
that official?
Who?
Do we have
What?
paperwork?
It's still worth yelling about.
Where's the NDA?
It actually originally my end of the year project wasn't going to be that. I was going to build something else, but I did end up building that, and you'll get to see that early in January as well. So another project I've been talking about doing for years, and I finally, you know what, I'm doing it. It'll take me weeks, I'm sure, but I'm gonna start it. And then I was done in an afternoon, and you're like, well, now what do I do with myself?
Yeah.
Actually, you know
Sometimes
what? You
they just come together.
It does, and you know what? You just touched upon something. I think I want to ask. It'll be a two-part question. Let's go to the first part. So again, gentlemen, and in the chat as well, feel free to answer and comment. But with obviously the end of this year coming and next year coming, are there any specific projects, blasters, or event that you are right now stating, I am going to work on this, I'm going to make this happen, or this is somewhere I'm going to? James, you're up first, buddy.
Well, I will be at Survival Fest. I will not miss Survival Fest for anything. Someone here really wants me to go to Maryland Mayhem. I'm shocked I haven't heard about it already today.
It's Chalo. It was Captain Xavier.
My big thing is I'm relocating my whole life from Louisiana to Tennessee. So nothing is happening until that's done sometime in February. But yeah, no, Survival Fest, 100%. Without a question.
That makes total sense, man. Captain Xavier, what about you? Any kind of specific project or something you've been like, you know what? This is the year I'm going to do whatever it is.
Loadouts. I've talked about doing a loadout series all year this year and never got around to it. I am making it happen next year. I probably still won't be able to do it quite the way I want to do it because I would need a camera crew to do that. And I don't have one because I live alone in the middle of nowhere. But I will find a way to at least get it started. I know what the first loadout is going to be. And then from there, I will create a survey where people get to pick which one will be the next one. And I will do one a month all year. I'm also going to be doing 1K26 every month all year. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
So just for those that don't know what we're talking about,
but I know what Maryland Mayhem is.
Tell us when Maryland Mayhem is, just so people know what we're talking about.
I don't remember.
It is.
I have to look it up.
You'll look it up. In the meantime, James, when is Pennsylvania Survival Fest?
Survival Fest is going to fall on the first weekend in June. I believe it starts the 31st of May and goes through the first weekend in June, if memory serves.
That is correct. And then I think, like as a test. Yes, you have passed. You have answered correctly. No, when you said it, that rang a bell. Maryland Mayhem is April 19th, that weekend as well. If you're not going to events, you are now. These are the ones you're going to. Clear your schedule. Take the vacation. Yeah, I know. Well, it's a long way off. Well, yeah, whatever, dude. I can throw excuses at you too. Just make it happen. And this is not you, James. This is at anybody else that make it that so. You got a great excuse. You got to move, dude. So I'm leaving you alone. Everyone else, enough excuses. I don't care. Come out. And I'll tell you this, Maryland Mayhem, you're gonna if you don't go, don't come back and cry to me, or I don't want you to hear to say, man, I should have gone. Just saying.
I will say this. I'm looking at Maryland Mayhem. If I can make it, I'm going to make it. But Survival Fest is a 3-day HVZ. There's no day of PvP. There's no day of open play. It is 3 days of just HVZ. And I don't know of an invitational that's still doing that.
That sounds exhausting.
I'm about it. And most importantly, for me, Survival Fest is in my hometown, State College, Pennsylvania, at the Penn State University. So I'm so excited. Like,
Yeah, I went to the Penn State Invitational, I want to say either 2018 or 2019.
yeah,
And it was an excellent event.
I've watched the video where you're running around behind the EMS buildings. You don't know that's where you were, but I know that's where you were.
I have no idea where it was. I don't know where I am now.
It's
Maryland
like,
Mayhem
I've run
is, of
down
course,
that alley.
yeah. Maryland Mayhem is, of course, in Maryland. In the Baltimore region. The HVZ is at UMBC. There is then a Nerf War the next day. Usually, there's also going to be tournaments. So,
And
but
vendors.
Survival
I will
Fest
have a
is-
table set up.
Yep, vendors.
I'll have a table set up
tournament,
at both, actually.
Nerf War. So if you're in for the variety, then that's something that Maryland Mayhem has. If you just want to hunt zombies, Survival Fest is the one you're going to want to go to.
That's awesome.
They're both going to be. I wasn't able to make Survival Fest this year, so it is one that is very high on my list for next year.
This is awesome. So to answer my first part of the question in terms of what I am putting on the board for next year is, and I blame Captain Xavier, and this will happen when you visit his shop. I got to make myself some ridiculous beast thing that I'm going to hook a proton pack to. So that is on my list for next year.
I gotta get the parts together and build a proton pack at some point. That's what I gotta do.
They are a fantastic thing. Hopefully, I've heard rumors that Out of Darts will be able to start selling them again. The problem was the chip shortage hit them, and they weren't able to get the custom boards for them anymore.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to have they gave me one to review, and then I went ahead and splurged and bought a second one. And I still have the files from the early prototypes, so I can build the less fancy ones that don't have the brushless motor, don't have all the fancy stuff. It's not a nice, neat, contained package. I can now do the current sensing because I was able to find an aftermarket current sensor, but it's large and bulky, and then using an air mattress pump is large and bulky, and then the agitator is about the same size. So I can still build them the old way, but the Out of Darts one is so much nicer, having a brushless fan, and it's all a nice, neat package and all of that. Though I kind of get the feeling the old version works better if you're using an inordinately large tank.
It's probably about the pressure environment, right?
Yeah, I think the air mattress pump actually does produce potentially more volume and can fill a larger tank, but that might just be that when I tried putting the Art of Darts one on a larger tank, I didn't have the tank well sealed. I just went back to the original and it worked better. So it's just a really cool concept. I've got a whole bunch of blasters that use it, and the neat thing is that because you can just get an Out of Darts Jupiter and put it in whatever shell you want. You can make it look like anything. You can make it really small. You can mount it to the side of a blaster. You can put it in a ridiculously huge blaster.
I am a dart guy as a rule. I prefer them to balls, but man, they certainly have their place. That's for sure. Volume.
Wait till you play with his smart gun and his minigun. You will reevaluate many things in life.
It's the capacity is what you cannot get the capacity with darts that you can with Rival from a hopper. It has other, like darts, you're going to get more range, you're going to get more accuracy. Proton packs are not a precision item. It is accuracy through volume. They're over there somewhere. Right. I've hit over there with rounds. What part? All of it.
You create a cloud of foam and something walks into it.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Second part of the question, gentlemen, is since it is the end of year, what is your, obviously hobby related, not in life and stuff like that, because it's a different thing. What was your, I guess, one of your biggest, it doesn't have to be the biggest if you can't think of it, but what is your best highlight in terms of hobby related from this year? Who wants to go first at that one?
I'll have to think about it, so someone else can go first. Highlights from this year. What did I do this year?
I mean, you did more than me.
All right, I'll go first. And I think part of it is because of all the different things I'd like. Survival Fest was so much fun. Hanging out with the Maryland, yeah, it was myself, Dart Sweep, Just Ben, and then also some of the Canadian from the A team came down. So there was so much fun during the day, never mind after the day. And so Survival Fest was up there. Maryland Mayhem obviously was, although I am not doing that commute, even though I'm an hour away every day. Yeah, I'm not doing that again. So I learned that because then it's just so much easier. I'm at traffic 95. But I think it might be because it's the freshest one of my memory. I think it's going out to the Pacific Northwest. That was just so much fun. And that I successfully dragged Maritime Foam with me.
For me, it's probably starting the channel and having the channel take off like it did, talking about End War and about bullying, right? Because the two videos that went like quasi viral and got me off the ground were the bullying and gatekeeping video, and then the End War recap. And going to End War, when candidly I was fully prepared to be going to the last End War, because obviously there had been so much negative press about 2022. And so to go to End War and have it be a much better event in terms of reception and play and people's enjoyment, that was pretty cool to see an event bounce back that way, and to meet the people I met in Charlotte, because obviously there were people from who I'd met at either Passive or at Gators versus Zombies the year before, who all came to Charlotte. But the Charlotte, like, their organization there on campus is a great group. It's very well run. They have a lovely alumni base. It's really good. It's another one I'd suggest if you can get down there to Charlotte, though you're walking uphill both ways in the heat.
Bah, I used to nerf in the Rocky Mountains. I've heard I went to Maryland when I first went to UMBC. They're like, oh, you're going to be marching uphill both ways. And I'm like, so where are these hills? And they're like, are you serious? I'm like, no, really. I nerf in the Rockies. The Appalachians do not scare me. But then I found the one hill that they had on campus, and they marched us up it backwards. And I got to the top of it. I'm like, no, this is where I die. And I just no, I'm not fighting my way down this hill. I'm dying on the top of this hill. I've picked my hill. You were right. There was hills. We marched it. I'm tired. I die here. I am old man. And I died on that hill, and it was glorious. And that was 2022. 2019, we found a different place to die, and it was much more comfortable.
So what was your highlight from this year then, dude?
Highlight. Oh.
Pick one.
God, there's so many. I'm going to go with meeting Putek in Switzerland. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
He designed the Pew Pew, which is one of the coolest blasters, still one of the best blasters that we have in this hobby. He's never been to a Nerf war.
Meeting the man behind the curtain was the highlight of all of you guys.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, the man behind the curtain. Helping start the World Foam Alliance was the culmination of my dreams.
What is it with these European maniacs developing these singularly impressive platforms, and then you talk to them and they're like, oh yes, I've never actually been to a Nerf war.
Yeah, for Putek, he's tried. There is a Swiss Nerf community. He's just scheduling has never, like, they always get canceled, or he has to work, or something always came up and he was never actually able to make it. So yeah, we stopped there on our way from Germany to France, because we were passing by Switzerland anyway. Came into Bern in the middle of the night, got a hotel room a block from the train station. He took us to a pizza place that was just around the corner that was very definitely run by the mob. Giuseppe was giving us the eye the entire time we're sitting there eating his artisanal pizza. It was delicious. It was good company.
Did he have a tracksuit? Was he wearing a tracksuit?
I don't think so. Or Giuseppe? No, he was in a business suit. This was proper. Not the Russian mob. This was very clearly the Italian mob.
Dude, they got velour suits too, man. Come on. Don't forget.
True.
Depending on the occasion.
This was a classy joint. So
they just use a different accent.
Hey, oh,
That's
hey.
also not Italy. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I got to nerf in Carcassonne. I nerfed in Frankfurt. I nerfed in France. I nerfed in England. That was a lot of fun. Mayhem was awesome, and honestly, starting the World Foam, or helping be part of forming the World Foam Alliance has been something that's really, really cool, because it is something that I think we're going to do a lot of good. We've been doing good so far. The reception we've had, I mean, just looking at how successful our foam giving was, there are clearly people that do believe in what we're doing and want to support what we're doing, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes.
Same.
I would
And
love it if
I will
were
answer.
able to sponsor someone coming out here. That would be cool.
That would be neat.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna make it happen. But I was gonna answer for everyone in the chat, because I'd ask you all the same thing, but I already know all your answers. Your highlight is that the World Foam Alliance exists. You're welcome. We will continue to make that dream of yours happen. And clearly, I have issues, but no. If you want to share in the chat, let us know what your highlights were from this year. Or again, if you have a highlight of next year or something that you're really looking forward to next year, feel free to share it in the chat. That'd be awesome, because you never know what you guys will say, and it might give us an idea, for example, of sponsoring a visit where you're going to go out to the Pacific Northwest and visit Captain Xavier. Just don't be weird, please.
Yeah. Get some.
Yeah.
I haven't had any. I did have some folks who they just joined the hobby, and they're like they got on the Panic, the Pacific Northwest Nerf Club Facebook group, and like, hey, we were looking at getting into the hobby. Can anyone tell us what it's like? And you're like, I'm free on Sunday. Come up to my place.
We were having the lady came out to like evaluate how much it would cost to move the house today, right? And so like she's doing the walkthrough, and I'm working, right? Because I work from home. And she and my fiance come walking in, and I've taken down a number of things. And she walks in and she goes, "Holy hell!" I go, "Oh yeah, I collect those. I have a YouTube channel and stuff." Really? Yeah. Like, no, I'm making things up to entertain myself. Here's a business card for the local club. I'm working here.
I'm working. I need to get business cards. I still don't have business cards. I've got no excuse.
There's an app. What is this called? Blink. And it's a digital card. So it has like a QR code, but you can have them send you like a single card. So when people are like, where can I find you? You can just be like, just scan it. I find it much more useful than physical business cards.
I have all of it, but it's also because my wife's my brand manager, and then things just show up in my house with my logo on it.
Well, and you do the convention thing, right? And when you're on a convention floor, those business cards are a lot better, a lot faster. But when you're wandering around in a field somewhere and somebody recognizes you, or you've got to be like, at the moment's notice, you can't just carry a pocket full of them everywhere you go. So it was convenient to just be like, scan it. Yeah.
Someone's gotta like print it out, like 3D print it and molly it. That way, Captain can just both of you just put it right in your vest. Hey man,
the QR code.
Just
that's a pretty
scan
good
the
idea.
vest.
Actually, that is a brilliant idea. A QR code business card for my gear.
Or the
Seriously.
the next limited edition Talonaxe Armory patch I make is just a QR code in the middle of it with all the info. Just mount it to my gear, mount it to other people's gear, put it on stickers, hand it out at events.
So I got QR codes on like large foam squares when I do conventions on my table. And I grab a card. I've had people pick it up and go, wow, this is a weird card. Just put it down. Take a card. Don't take the 6x6 foam square. That is not a business card.
Yeah. I used to, in a past life, I ran a steampunk performance group. So like that's why I have the big diving bell and stuff.
Nice.
And that was always the endeavor, was like, no, this is free, that isn't.
So then let's ask everyone a question. So in the chat, we'll let you guys go first because I think some of us already know the answer to that. But what does everyone think the largest event is in terms of people that show up to it, and roughly guess how many people actually showed up to it? I'll give you about 5-10 seconds, and then the rest of us will probably answer. To give you an idea for scale, last year Maryland Mayhem, I think the official number was 340, even though I think it was more than that. I'm sure this year it'll be about 17,000 people, but I'm also delusional, so that might not count. I think at Rochester End War, that one was that the most? That would have been my guess.
No, it probably would have been pre-pandemic End War. If you're talking our hobby, if you're just talking Nerf events, it's obviously Jared's Epic Nerf Battle.
Yeah, I'm talking hobby events.
Yeah, because Jared's Epic Nerf Battle is it's a thing, is what it is.
It is.
It's a lovely way to get shot by small children.
Yes, if you're looking to get shot in the junk by 4,000 kids, Jared's Epic Nerf Battle.
Yeah.
It is a thing to experience. I would say you should go to one just to understand how nicer our events are. It's
chaos.
It's a completely different event. You can't compare it to something like End War. It isn't fair. It's what it is, and it's fascinating. Anyway, no, I think it would have to be one of the pre-pandemic End Wars where they had 500 or 600 people. Is the largest that I'm aware of.
I think the Rochester one was close to 5, but I could be wrong. But I think pre-pandemic they were bigger than that.
If I had to guess, it was probably End War 2. Because End War 2 was still in Ohio, so they had the draw of that, and it was after, because you had NVZ, you had End War 1, you had End War 2. If I had to guess, it was probably End War 2, because I know the old big invitationals at the big universities would be 500 at Penn State or Ohio State, at the schools that were centrally located and had draw from an entire state and the surrounding group. This is the point where we need Dora, where we need Kelsey from the Survival Fest mod team, because she would have a hard, fast number for me, a date, who was there, what they did.
Yeah.
So Detroit Dartworks is chiming in that pre-COVID one End War had over 800 people.
Yeah. And I think that's End War 2.
Whichever one it is. It was definitely an End War. So then I guess, we'll ask this question again, let's say the week after April 19th, and see what Mayhem did.
Yeah.
I'll be interested in revisiting it June 5th.
That too.
I absolutely love that there are so many more events, because once upon a time it was End War.
Yep.
That was the big event. There wasn't anything else. And then Penn State's got to be well known, and then Maryland Mayhem, and then Survival Fest, Ragnar Oktoberfest, West versus Zombies.
Well, and
there are now options.
Penn State's club didn't come back from the pandemic, right? And then so there was no Penn State club last year, and then boom, this year they start a club. They're involved with the guys who are running Survival Fest. So we may very well see Survival Fest at Penn State over the summer, a fall or spring invitational at Penn State again. We may be seeing another resurgence in the HVZ culture now that the pandemic is something that we can deal with as a society instead of something that drives us into our homes for 2 years.
Yeah.
So let's so again, ladies and gentlemen, while we ramble on, if you want to call in, and we might take your call, or we might just point and laugh and say, no, we're not taking phone calls because we're clueless. I'm kidding. We'll answer your call. But
979-500-2794. Give us a call.
What the man said. So wait, what in terms of events? Well, let's name them off. So we have Pennsylvania Survival Fest, Maryland Mayhem.
Are we talking? Okay,
large
so
events.
You've got Survival Fest.
Yep.
You've got Maryland Mayhem. you've got End War, you've got,
Most
and then
likely
you've
an
got
End War.
and then you've got Ragnar Oktoberfest out west, right?
Yep.
And then you've got the invitationals that take place that are smaller, but they're all happening again too. So
Well,
you've
let's go for a
got
little bigger. Like example, I'm going to go
those
Mall
are the
Mutation
big
Madness.
events right now.
Well,
Yeah, that's fair.
Madness.
That's capped to 100 though.
It is,
200.
but everybody
200,
that it's
yeah.
still a
200.
premier event that everyone talks about.
I'm just saying it's capped to 200.
It is. So I'm
I
guessing not just numbers, but popularity too.
I happen to know there's another mall style game that's getting planned right now somewhere in the Midwest. I can't say hard, fast things, but I know it's being actively talked about, which is very exciting to me. Because not that like, oh, screw Mall Mutation Madness, but if somebody else is running a game in a mall, I want to play in a different mall. Like, let me play 2 or 3 malls a year. I'm down. And people are like,
Absolutely.
oh, well, it was $50. And like, I have my issues with Mall Mutation Madness. I think they need to make some massive changes to the way they handle the bureaucracy of Mall Mutation Madness. But in terms of, you're never going to play in a mall. Like, that's, what other game can you play in a mall?
Yeah.
So
that's 5.
Like, there's 5 big ones that I can actively think of, and I may be leaving somebody. APOC, but APOC doesn't have an HVZ event, do they?
No, but I think it's more so. I'm not looking necessarily for HVZ, but just like larger events. Whereas, like we were just saying before, it was just End War. Where right now
I'd
we'll
throw
throw
in
APOC. That's 6.
I'd throw in the Rochester guys are doing it. It's like this week. I feel terrible. I can't remember the name, and it's for charity, and I feel bad.
The winter
Sub-Zero
one.
Blaster Battle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't BPOC a thing now too?
APOC, BPOC, same weekend. Yes.
Yeah, and then
if we're just talking big events, you do have to throw Jared's Epic Nerf Battle because it is
a big event, and he does it like 3 or 5 times a year.
Yeah, he does it he did 2 in Texas this year, 1 in the summer, 1 in for a Christmas event. They did 1 in, I think, Georgia, Indiana, LA. He's expanding.
And it's Jared's Epic Blaster Battle now.
Blaster Battle, yeah.
So you know what that means? We're forgetting one, but it is still it's still not on paper. But come on, man, we threw a charity event together in a month and made money. So if things go well, there will be a World Foam Alliance event next year at some point.
Hey, I'll make that one.
Well, we got to make it first. So, but we've shown when we put our minds to it, man, we will make it happen.
But
we
like,
don't no empty promises.
If we're talking about events, we can't leave aside the smaller invitationals because none of those events happen without the invitationals.
Yeah.
So we got to give props to GCC, Stop Fight, PTC, oh man, it's not Youngstown, it's Athens. Athens still has a game. The kids down in Florida at Gainesville, Gators versus Zombies is a hell of a game. Like, if you've never made that one, it's worth doing once. It's hot. It's damn hot. But their campus is gorgeous, and they put on a really great game. Because we were there.
Put Afterworlds.
Yep.
Sorry, keep going.
Well, but
James.
that's a LARP. No, that's a different thing.
Yeah, Afterworlds is a very different thing. It's also relatively small.
Yeah, like. And then we have to acknowledge the local clubs that are getting bigger every day. I swear because I'm in God knows how many Facebook groups. Every time I see a picture from like, this was the attendance at our game, I'm like, you have 40 dudes there? Like,
Panic, I think the biggest we had this summer was 80, which is pushing the limits of the capacity of the park we're in.
Yeah, you guys are looking at venue changes. Like, here at Label, it's been like 15 months or something since I started on the board. We went from average attendance of like 6 to average attendance of like 20. And the clubs are blowing up all over the country, and all of those things have to work together. So as much as the big events are important and we need to acknowledge them, let's acknowledge all the little clubs, the organizers, the guys going the extra mile to make things work. Places like Kane, where you can go play on an airsoft field twice a month, guaranteed. That's craziness. Absolute insanity.
Yeah. And the big invitationals only exist because the little clubs started talking and started organizing and started inviting people and things like that. Maryland Mayhem grew out of UMBC. Survival Fest grew out of Penn State. It's
Survival Fest is an interesting critter because it's almost like an all-star mod team.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a
GCC,
couple of guys
they've
from
got
all
PSU,
over the place.
They've got
And it means that culturally it's the most well-rounded game I've ever been to, because like they got a little bit of Maryland stuff, they got a little bit of Pennsylvania stuff, they got some New York stuff, they got some old school Ohio nonsense, and they kind of put it all together. And then God bless Mike Lasik, who runs that thing. Go into a game with an honest to God story that you can follow. Love it every time.
I've been to a couple where there was a solid storyline and the storyline actually mattered, and the puzzles made sense, and the missions made sense. Most of the time, that takes place in like the week-long games, the regular club games. Pulling that off on a weekend is nuts.
My favorite.
Most people don't understand the insanity that is holding a one-day HVZ and having it work. Most people have no idea how hard that is, how complicated it is, how delicate a balance that is, where one mistake can derail the whole game, where everyone dies by noon. Well, now what do you do? Or you go the whole day and no one ever gets turned, and so there's never any fun. There's no zombies. It's really hard to balance that on the fly, and takes an incredibly good mod team to pull it off. And so being to games like Maryland Mayhem and End War and seeing it done and hearing it being done incredibly well, because Survival Fest is, from what I've heard, was more complicated than most of the big HVZs in storyline, in zombie variety, in missions, and so forth.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think they get enough credit. People complain more than is justified, in my opinion, in a lot of ways.
There are games where like storyline, meh, like Mall Mutation Madness. I'm glad it had a theme, but that's all it needed, right? Let's go shoot. Everything's fine. We're in a mall.
Yeah.
But no, Survival Fest last year, where it's all this. You've got 5 missions in the first block. Each one of those missions directly feeds into the second block of missions, where you have 3 missions. Each one of these feeds into the next mission, and everything is plotted to go exactly this way. And if you complete this, you get this. And if you complete that, you get this. Is madness. And like, I have their BFG. They sent it home with me. It lives in the corner of the office. It's one of my favorite things. But all of those things happen because it is a group of people who all brought their kind of disparate knowledge and skill set and built one animal. Right?
I'm glad you circled back to that, because that's what I wanted to touch upon, is that Maryland. So the Maryland Foam Alliance, and obviously it's in my backyard, but also I know them very well and was able to kind of witness it unfold and happen. And it is a great microcosm of what the World Foam Alliance wants to do, is that you had 3 groups. And instead of arguing, fighting, or trying to make the better of like my group or come to my group, it's like, what are we doing? And then form this unity. So all 3 groups exist. And because of that, you now actually, when being able to work together, it's for that reason. You're able to bring more people together, more people with talent, ideas, and everything else. As a result, I'm lucky enough where I have at least 3 events a month for most of the year I can go to. Downside, they're all in Maryland. They're all an hour away. But you know what? I'm not going to bitch. Other people have nothing for hours away. So I am good and I'm happy. But there's always an event. But at the same time, because they work together and because they get that many people that show up, that's why something like Maryland Mayhem was actually able to happen. It's not just because one person had an idea and went and did it. A lot of the times it is a community event. By making these communities longer and larger, we're hopefully going to have a problem in a few years where it's not like, how many events have we got? 6? No, there's 37 of them, but I can only do 6 of them. Like, that is the train that we want to start. And that's what we want to make happen. It's, again, links back to the charity. It links back to, what's his name called in. He won 2 blue Nexuses. Instead of selling one, he's going to give us one to sign and give away next year. It's it's this common goal, common theme, common idea of what we're all about. Is let's make it happen. Let's make it grow. We do not have to step on each other. We don't have to lock people out or tell people what they should do or what they shouldn't do. No, just be good to one another. Bring your talents, work together, and you can make anything happen. I'll get off my soapbox now.
No, that's the most important soapbox you can climb on in this community, is reminding people that they need to work together.
Yeah, that we are in fact a community.
Yeah, there is way too much factionalization.
And that's, again, as we've said, the goal of the World Foam Alliance is connecting people. Because one of the connections that we made was connecting the guys from Mall Madness, ideally, to the guys who run Ragnar Oktoberfest. Because RAG has a lot of things automated using RFID chips and software and code and all of this, that if Mall Madness could integrate that into theirs, it might alleviate a lot of their logistics issues.
Which is their biggest problem.
Yeah, they're tracking information that no one else really often bothers tracking. And I love that they do that because it allows them to give out awards based on statistics, but they have to gather that data. And currently they're doing it basically manually, where a lot of that could be automated. And it had never occurred to them to talk to the guys at RAG. They weren't familiar with how RAG did their zombie tracking. And they could do it, and maybe they will, and maybe they won't. But it would allow them to connect, because, I mean, look at all of the collaborations that happen in the design world of our hobby. You know, how many of the coolest blasters that exist are the result of collaborations of 2, 3, 4 designers? We're seeing that with our events. The best events are collaborations of multiple clubs, of multiple people with multiple skill sets getting together and building events. And also, clubs only exist because people got connected. Back when there was a time where, like, the Kansas City club was a result of people finding out, wait, there's 5 people in Kansas who also Nerf, or in Kansas City. How did I not know about this? Let's get together. Let's have an event. Now they've got a thriving club going. And that's the goal, is if we can, Nerf is, as I've said multiple times, the second largest toy line after Lego. It's a $1 billion toy line. And you include Dart Zone into that, you include Worker into that, Out of Darts into that. Pretty much every household in America probably has at least one Nerf blaster, but almost none of them know that our hobby exists. They know that Nerf exists. Everyone knows that Nerf exists. It's a part of our language at this point. But why doesn't every single city in America have a Nerf club? There's enough people in my small town of 300 people. I could get a Nerf club going here. And it's because nobody knows that that's an option. We've got 80 people who come to the Panic events. Between Portland and Seattle, we've got millions of people, and probably hundreds of thousands of them would love to come to a Nerf event if they knew it happened. How do we advertise? How do we make it known that we exist, that these hobbies exist, that these things exist? Well, we've got YouTube channels. Well, if you don't go looking for it, you're not going to find it. How do we better market ourselves? And that's one of the big driving things behind the World Foam Alliance. The guy behind the curtain, he does marketing professionally. He knows what to do. He knows the connections. And once we get to a certain size, when we hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, we get more options. When we get more people registered on the website, we get more options to actually be able to market on a professional level beyond anything any of us have ever done. And that's my, come on, let's do it. I'm excited. Let's make this happen. That's my rant.
Yes, that is an awesome rant. And yes, we will. Share, subscribe, and share. Did I mention subscribe? Subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. Tell your families to subscribe. Create other accounts and subscribe. I don't care what you do. Just subscribe. You want to make us happen? Don't tell me what you want to see. Now I'm telling you what I want to see. Get us up there. Tell me you care. That way I'm not caring for nothing. Come on, man. Make it happen. We will make it happen for you. We are running a little, well, yeah, it's almost near the end, but again, the writer, sorry?
Yeah, we're getting close to the end.
Yeah. It is, but so just a reminder to everyone again, if you haven't registered, worldfoamalliance.org, go register. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get us to 1,000, please. The more people we get, the more we can do. Don't forget to smash that like button as well. Again, thanks to everyone that participated in Foam's Giving, whether you watched, whether you were streamed, or whether you donated. Again, we are delivering on prizes. It is Christmas. And remember, a lot of us have full-time jobs. and this is our part-time thing, but we will make it happen. And many prizes have been sent out. If you haven't heard anything, also reach out or answer the emails that were sent out to you. But by January, I can assure you that we will make sure that you get it. Next year, Foams Giving will be bigger and better because of all you all. So we appreciate it. And also let us know what you'd like to see from at any point. If you have any information or any questions or any ideas that you want to see from the World Foam Alliance, let us know. We might love the idea. We might trash the idea. We might think, are you nuts? But you know what? That's okay. We appreciate input because that's how things happen. And again, our new lineup will be coming next January. You will have more. I think next year we're going to call it, because this was an experiment and clearly it's working well. So next year we will have season 1. We're going to call it season 1. This was like, oh my God, we made it through the year. Next year is going to be season 1. Get off my lawn. The foam zone.
This was the pilot.
Dude, it started Captain Xavier and me in the basement, my house right here, and we were just tired and we figured, it'd be fun. Let's go on live stream and talk to people.
Let's do a live stream and just sit in the basement. And then when the World Foam Alliance gets started, like, hey, would you guys like to move that over there? Like, that would make way more sense.
It was 2 old guys that got kind of famous on the internet, and then a reality TV show came in and said, you know what, we should try this. And here we are, and we got it, guys. 26 episodes. We're signed. 2024.
Woo!
The internet loves hefty gentlemen with beards. It's science.
It's
Handsome Al, man. We're big and sexy. Come on, man. Dad bods are a thing. Foam Zone, Lightning Hour, never mind the other episodes. And believe me, we'll be bringing on more episodes next year as well. Foams Giving will be happening next year and everything else. It really has been a wonderful year. This has brought us. It is surpassed our expectations in terms of what we're able to deliver and what we're able to do. And a lot of it is definitely the people that we have involved, and they work very hard about it. But at the same time is that we keep the same momentum and message, and we work hard towards it. But also, it's the response from the community. If you guys didn't believe in us or didn't care, it'd still be myself and Captain Xavier in a basement looking at each other going, well, someone might tune in. So our thanks goes out to everyone out there that watches, listens, subscribes, and support us. Without you, this isn't happening. So like I said, World Foam Alliance community. It's not that we're making this happen. We are making this happen. And so it's not just us, it's you as well. It's everybody. That's what comes together and forms this thing that we're doing. I'm going to stop now because I'm ranting. No, I'm not even ranting. I'm just talking.
Rambling. We're talking in circles. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing more of the Lightning Hour. I would love to be a guest on that at some point, because I would probably learn more about marketing myself to the right audience in an hour with Sophie Lightning than I have learned myself in the last 7 years. A lot of that is grumpy old man. Like, what do you mean I have to talk to the kids? They're kids. But at the same time, I am a big kid. I love hanging out with children and running events for kids and seeing them have fun. But I don't understand TikTok yet. I understand the concepts, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to where it goes. I'm looking forward to being able to run big events, go to big events. I love the idea of bringing someone out here for a weekend as a prize. We should try to arrange it at the same time that you come back.
Oh God, could you imagine if it was arranged so like everyone was there and they didn't know? So like they showed up and everyone was just there.
Like, I knew those guys are going to be here. How did this guy get here? He just showed up. He wandered in.
Or it's like, oh no, not him, man. No one likes that guy, Al. Come on.
You invited him. I thought it was just going to be me. I thought I was special.
That's right. Damn it. James, any final thoughts or anything you want to share to people?
Man, I'm just looking forward to what the year brings. 2023 was this good for the hobby. We had so many wonderful blasters come out. We had so many great events happen. We had so many developments happen. I can only imagine what's going to happen in 2024. I mean,
I agree with that.
Oh.
It is. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for a wonderful year. Thank you for everything. I hope you all go off and enjoy your holidays. Be safe, have fun, go see friends and family. do whatever it is you need to do. But then I hope to see you all safe and sound next year. Big plans, big dreams. We're going to get this train rolling again and just keep on streaming right into 2024. And we're going to make this big and beautiful. So again, to everyone, thank you for helping us make the World Foam Alliance what it is. And next year is going to be a great year. Much love to all of you all. Have a great year, and we shall see you in the new year.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.